Everyone, open the meeting at 6:30. This meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Wadawurrung people. We wish to acknowledge them as traditional custodians and pay our respects to their elders past and present. We extend that respect to all members of our community. Number 2, present and apologies. All councillors present. CEO, any apologies?
Through you, Mayor, we just adjusted the amount of managers here just to make sure everyone could fit in. So there's Tim, Gehan and Abby are having the night off.
Stuart.
And Stuart, sorry, Tim. Sorry.
Thank you. Any conflict of interest, councillors? CEO, any conflict of interest? No. Number 4, leave of absence of a councillor. Councillor rules on leave of absence until the 12th of August. I think she might be watching. I just got a text off her, so hello, Di. Public questions. Public questions status update. There are no public questions outstanding. 5.2 public questions. We've got 11 questions received. First question is from Elizabeth Atkinson. Are you here, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Would you like to read your question?
Yes.
Thank you.
I refer to item 13.1, fourth quarter implementation update of the annual plan 2024 to 2025 in the agenda of tonight's meeting. Council identified 27 individual actions in the annual plan 24-25. I refer to items 25, 26 and 27 specifically, which are listed as either on hold or cancelled. Item 25 is the installation of signage that includes recognition of Wadawurrung at the entrance to the borough. Item 26 is implementation of the Reflect Reconciliation Action Plan, and item 27 is Develop and Innovate Reconciliation Action Plan. My question to Council is, could Council please provide the status, timeframe and whether the item will be actioned for each of the 3 reconciliation-related items, those being 25, 26 and 27, from the fourth quarter implementation update for the annual plan.
Would you like me to respond?
Yep. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Through you. Thank you for your question, Elizabeth. So at the ordinary meeting of Council in June this year, Council adopted the annual budget and annual plan for 2025-26 financial year. The 2 documents you refer to, these 2 documents capture the work Council will undertake in the upcoming 12 months. While Council did not allocate funds towards any reconciliation work, which means that the implementation of the Reflect Reconciliation Plan and the development of the Innovate Reconciliation Plan were not included in the annual plan. My understanding, however, is that Council will consider both these items and they'll be subject to further consideration as part of the development of the Council plan, which is due in October this year. The funding for the town entrance signage was absorbed into a restoration project at the Shortlands Bluff area in the 2025-26 annual budget.
Do you have a follow-up question, Elizabeth? No, thank you. Public question number 2 from Kate Smallwood. Is Kate here? Yes. Would you like to read your question, Kate?
There is a printed version. Oh, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm just finding my question in the document.
It's right at the back. So my question is, Council is proposing significant changes to our community vision, yet has failed to report on the community engagement process and results, or how the engagement feedback informed proposed changes to the vision as required under Council's own community engagement policy. Why is Council proposing to approve a new community vision without a Council officer report and recommendation, and without first providing our community with a comprehensive report on the community engagement process and results?
Thank you for your question, Kate, and through you, Mayor. Kate, at the June Council Assembly, officers provided a briefing on the submissions received through the community vision engagement process. Council shared the results of the survey and the feedback received through the drop-in sessions and written submissions. If Council resolves to adopt the revised community vision at tonight's meeting, that is, it makes a decision, Council officers will work with the councillors to prepare and publish a report on how the feedback received through the community vision engagement process informed the revisions to the vision and the decision of Council, as per the objectives in section 3.3.3 in the community engagement policy.
I would just note as a follow-up question, is if that's the proposed process Council is proposing to follow, how does that process meet the statutory requirement under section 88 of the Local Government Act to run a deliberative engagement process, which as defined in Council's own policy is collaborative, so that's at least IAP level 4, if not 5, and deliberative engagement isn't just about how you consult people initially, it's also how you involve them collaboratively in finalising the decision and providing information after the fact, and here's our vision, thanks very much, fails that standard unequivocally.
I'll take that as a statement. Public question number 3 from Eva Mutton. Eva? Can I ask if you're going to ask a follow-up question just to stay up there, because we're online so people can't hear. Thanks.
My question is very similar. The council website states the following: by its very nature, the Borough of Queenscliff Community Vision isn't just a council document. It's a document for everyone in our community to aspire to. We think a vision for our whole community should be created by our whole community. That's why we're checking in with our residents and ratepayers to make sure the community vision we currently have still aligns with our goals and aspirations. The survey is now closed. Results will be published soon. So my question was, why have the results of the Community Vision Survey, which closed on May the 2nd, not yet been published as promised, yet a significantly modified community vision is being recommended for adoption by Council today?
Through you, Mayor, and thank you for your question, Eva. I'll start by way of background. Council is required under the Local Government Act 2020 to prepare and adopt governance rules. The governance rules make provision for the conduct of meetings, including the preparation of the agenda and tabling of motions. Clause 80 of Council's governance rules allows a councillor to give notice of their intention to move a motion on any matter they want discussed at a council meeting. Sorry. Section 82 of those governance rules says that the CEO must list the notice of motion at the next council meeting. The governance rule provide no specific requirements about the content to be included in the motion. The notice of motion itself has been submitted in accordance with the governance rules. As stated in my previous response, if Council does resolve to adopt the revised community vision presented in the notice of motion, Council officers will work with councillors to prepare and publish a report on how the feedback received through the community vision engagement process has informed the revisions and the decision of Council.
Thank you.
you have a follow-up question?
Would it be possible for the vision to be postponed until there's some more evidence that the community supports the changes in the modified version?
That's something council consider as they go through the consideration of the motion tonight. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ava. Public question number 4 from Tim Clares. You here, Tim? No, Tim's not here. I'll read it out. Can you please explain how the process for revising the community vision meets the council's legislative requirements as well as community expectations for engagement, good governance and transparent process?
Thank you, Mayor, and through you. And Tim, I'm sorry not here. Thank you for your comprehensive supporting note that came with your question. The legislative process for reviewing the community vision includes a number of steps. Section 88(4) of the Act states that the council must develop or review the community vision in accordance with its deliberative engagement practices by the 31st of October in the year following the election. So, in response to that, council is meeting the first part of that section, which is it's meeting its requirement to review the community vision. The second requirement in this section is obviously the type of engagement council should undertake. The process planned for the engagement of community vision was designed to seek input from a diverse range of people with the intent that the feedback would inform councillors' consideration of the community vision. And while I cannot speak on behalf of the councillors, my understanding is the feedback has informed the revised community vision presented as part of the notice of motion before this council this evening. The engagement itself started with a letter dropped to households in the borough informing of the review, inviting them to participate. This was supported by a website landing page, social media promotion and an open invitation to drop-in sessions at the Queenscliff Hub. All these activities were underpinned by an electronic survey and the opportunity for people to make written submissions. Council officers also spoke with the Wadawurrung Traditional Owners Aboriginal Corporation, and councillors, I understand, spoke directly to members of the community. In all, council received and considered about 418 discrete pieces of feedback. All these activities could be considered elements of a deliberative engagement practice. Council sought feedback and used that feedback to inform their review of the community vision. One component of deliberative engagement practice missing at the moment is the reporting back or the explanation about how the feedback was used. This action is described in Council's community engagement policy as publish information about how feedback was used to inform or guide decision making. If Council resolves to adopt the revised community vision tonight, Council officers will work with councillors to prepare and publish a report on how the feedback received through the engagement process was incorporated into the proposed revisions of the community vision and the decision of Council. This will in part address the objectives set of section 3.3 of the community engagement policy.
Public question number 5, Lou Stewart. Thanks, Lou.
Okay, so my preamble's probably a little more fierce than some of the other preambles, but I'd like to remind councillors that under Section 88 of the Local Government Act 2020, the Act, the community vision must be developed and maintained using deliberative engagement practices, and that all council decisions must be informed, transparent and in line with sound governance principles. Proceeding to adopt the revised community vision without a documented officer report or evidence of deliberative engagement risks a potential breach of the Act and may also undermine public trust in Council's decision-making processes. Under Section 123 of the Act, knowingly breaching statutory obligations may constitute misuse of position, carrying penalties of up to 5 years imprisonment or 600 penalty units.
The CEO also has a statutory obligation under Section 46 of the Act to ensure advice to Council meets legislative and governance standards, and I'm sure CEO Gill is aware of that. My question is, in light of these requirements, will Council defer adoption of the community vision until a formal officer report is tabled, demonstrating that process undertaken complies with Section 88 and includes evidence of meaningful, deliberative engagement with a representative cross-section of the community? And I'll add to that very quickly, sorry, it's not, but it's part of your response, CEO, that feedback and engagement post the adoption of the vision doesn't cut it. It doesn't meet our needs as a community, and nor does it meet the needs of the Act.
Thank you, Lou, and through you, Mayor, and I'll let the second part of your question stand as a statement. And I'm going to really disappoint you because in your question you've asked if Council will do something before it's made a decision or considered the matter. So
Okay, all right.
I can't preempt that, the way the Council will think, and therefore I'm not in a position to provide you an answer.
Okay.
Follow up?
Well, I think I hope I'm not hoping in vain. And we're a community, and we some of us went to the community vision discussions, and we'd really like to know that we've been heard. And quite frankly, and this is a statement, quite frankly, the community vision, the proposed community vision, is a sad document.
Thanks, Lou. Public question number 6 from Jenny Brown. Is Jenny here? No, I'll read it out. Background context. At the June 2025 Council meeting, item 12.1 of the Integrated Water Management Plan was passed unanimously. The purpose of this report is to present the final Integrated Water Management Plan to Council and seek endorsement of the plan. The executive summary, Portfolio 2 Environment. Strategic objective, to protect our environment and address climate change issues. Priority 2, respond to the impacts of climate change and reduce carbon emissions through the Climate Emergency Response Plan. Priority 3, protect our coastal and public areas, including their ecosystems and biodiversity. Priority 4, protect and manage our wetlands and waterways. Portfolio 4, heritage, planning and infrastructure. Strategic objective, to protect our distinctive coastal, cultural and built environment and provide sustainable and suitable infrastructure. Priority 3, identify and protect the borough's distinctive coastal characteristics. An integrated water management plan is a holistic and collaborative approach to planning for and managing all water cycle elements, including water sources, wastewater, stormwater, waterways, landscape health and urban amenity. The development of an IWM plan for Queenscliff and Port Lonsdale is an action on Council's Annual Plan 24-25 and the Climate Emergency Response Plan 2021-31. It was also identified as a priority under Bowen Water's Strategic Direction Statement 2018. The development of the plan was funded through the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Action Water Cycle Adaptation Action Plan Grants Program. The plan focuses on opportunities primarily within the borough's scope of control. So I get to the question. Council minutes acknowledge most will become exacerbated over a longer term by climate change. Managing these water-related issues will be critical to the borough's long-term livability and resilience. As Council intends to remove any reference to action on climate-related impacts in the proposed vision, July 23rd, 2025, how does Council intend to action the borough's long-term livability and resilience, and will council hand back funding provided by DECA now that they intend to remove any reference to action on the impacts of a changing climate in council vision? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and through you. Jenny, doesn't look like she's here. I think the important thing to say is the proposed changes to the language in the community vision do not rescind any previous formal decisions of Council. Council is resolved to adopt the Integrated Water Management Plan, and under the Local Government Act 2020, Council decisions are to be made and actions taken in accordance with the relevant law. This includes a requirement that the CEO implements the decisions of Council. So at the moment, Council has not made a decision to not implement the Integrated Water Management Plan, and so we will therefore continue to implement it.
Public question number 7 from Leah Corbett. Is Leah here?
Thank you. My question covers some similar ground. Excuse me if I'm croaky. Agenda item 8.2 on the updated community vision seeks, and I quote here, Council's formal endorsement of the updated community vision in accordance with legislative requirements and in the interest of transparent community-led governance. Yet, should today's council meeting go forward and adopt the significant changes to the community vision as proposed, they would meet neither of these stated objectives. Council's legislative requirements regarding the community vision require much more than set out in the agenda paper. Any revised or updated vision must be developed, and again I quote, with the municipal community using deliberative engagement practices from Section 88 of the Local Government Act. And putting this forward just 3 business days before this meeting and without any information on the outcomes of the recent community survey on the vision, it is in no way in the interest of transparent community-led governance. It's instead a major breach of the community's trust and denies the opportunity for community consultation about the vision. How the updated vision deals with climate change is a case in point. Council has a SERP, a Climate Emergency Response Plan, which is only partly implemented. The original vision sensibly included a commitment to we mitigate and adapt to the risks of climate change. The proposed new vision makes no mention at all of climate action. So my question is, given the Council's request for a report on the costs and benefits of the SERP made at its May 2025 meeting, and the failure of the proposed updated community vision to reference climate change and climate action, is the Council planning to withdraw its support and existing resources from the SERP as these moves might suggest? If not, I believe the vision should be amended to include appropriate references to climate action. And if it is, on what basis are you making such a decision, given the demonstrably high level of support for the SERP in this community?
Through you, Mayor, and thank you, Lee. I think in terms of process, there's no matter before Council that asks them to consider withdrawing support or resources from the Climate Emergency Response Plan. Council can only make a decision of that nature through a formal resolution and vote. So I'll just leave it there, I think.
Did you have a follow-up question, Leah? No. Thank you. Public question number 8 from David Conley on behalf of the QCA. David? You happy for me? Yeah, thank you. In 2019, the QCA was successful in its Heritage Victoria nomination for Shortlands Bluff for state heritage recognition, providing a comprehension submission with the historic bull ring, being a special and distinct element of the heritage listing that included its then remaining cypress trees. Shortlands Bluff, including the bull ring, also forms part of the Three Headlands Marine and Defence National Heritage submission that remains under consideration with the federal government. The QCA, like the broader community, has not been included in any further consultation on the alleged bull ring restoration and landscaping that is now recorded as being 50% complete. The concept plan was presented to councillors in March 2025 and a permit exemption has been applied to Heritage Victoria. Given the high level of community involvement and the active role of the QCA in gaining this important recognition and its continued role supporting national heritage recognition, can the CEO explain why this project and concept plan has not involved any widespread and deliberative engagement with community stakeholders, including the QCA?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, David, and through you, Mayor. To this point, I've consulted with the RSL, the Australian Commandos, the Wadawurrung Traditional Owners Corporation and Heritage Victoria in development of the concept design, and I have a meeting scheduled with a local subject matter expert who's researched and written a history of the bull ring, which I've referred to when I've been preparing the concept plan. The concept plan has responded to all those inputs at this point and the input of the previous council and the current council. The proposed discussion with the local subject matter expert is intended to be a check of the current concept and a request for input into the interpretive elements of the design. Following this, the next step from the concept stage to the planning stage, following advice from Heritage Victoria, will be to include further consultation. And however, if the QCA would like to invite me to present the concept before the project moves to that planning stage, I'd be happy to attend the next meeting of the QCA.
Thank you. Follow up?
Do a follow-up?
Yep.
Yes. We have advanced, and a lot has been spoken about deliberative engagement tonight. 50% down the track with the concept plan. Who's the expert?
Who's the expert?
Yes.
I'd have to check with them to see if they're prepared to have their name in public, but I think you know. I think you're aware of, and the documentation's been authored by that person. Yeah.
Is it Keith Quinn? Or no? Well, I've got no idea who.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll check with them to see if they're comfortable, and I can present that to you when I come meet the QCA.
Well, before going to the QCA, it'd be good to have some feedback and reporting, perhaps to the community, to outline what the concept plan is, why we lost three valuable trees which were heritage nominated, where the arborist report is, etc., so that before advancing to a concept plan to councillors, that actually the people who orchestrated the heritage recognition were included in deliberative engagement and were, as a matter of courtesy, included in any discussion.
Yeah. So, look, it's a process, and we're in the concept phase of this process. So the concept is the first part. So we're only halfway through the first part of this process, and we're more than happy to come and speak with the QCA. I welcome the invitation, David.
Well, I think it's wider than the QCA because there's
it may very well be. And as I said in my response, we'll do, once we get to the end of the concept stage, we'll do community consultation.
Yeah. Well, we are paying catch up really, and we should be advised. Thank you.
Yeah, please invite me along, and I'll advise you, David.
Public question number 9 from David Conley. Do you want me to read it? Yep. Tonight's audit and risk report notes that Chief Executive Officer provided a verbal update in relation to the following areas at a meeting. Number 1 was Murray Road, and number 2 was the formal complaint against the CEO. In the interest of transparency and accountability, can the CEO detail the context and details including incurred and potential costs and risks to the borough pertaining to both matters.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, David. Look, Murray Road's an open legal matter, so I will not provide a response here, but we'll be happy to provide a response at the conclusion of the court proceeding. And I'll take the second question on notice and provide you some advice around the costs for both matters.
Just in relation to Murray Road, was legal advice presented to the audit and risk?
I provided verbal updates to the Audit and Risk Committee and based on the legal advice and the discussions I've been having with the lawyers. Yep.
So no formal legal advice, okay. And in the second matter, no, aware of confidentiality, but you as perhaps a subject of the complaint...
Was only one question.
Oh, sorry. Well, in essence, was the report or the inspectorate letter presented rather than just...
This matter wasn't about the inspectorate, or the inspectorate wasn't involved in this matter.
Something else.
Thanks, David. Public question number 10 from Colin Kent. Colin, do you want to read it? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Councillors. Opportunity to speak. My question relates again to 8.2, the community vision. And while I have very much the same concerns about process, my concern speaks to the actual document before you tonight. And just quickly to preamble, best practice vision statements serve as an organisation's guiding star, articulating long-term goals and aspirations for the future. The statement should paint the picture of where we want to be in the future. Its primary purpose is to inspire, motivate and guide strategic direction. The goal is a vision that is uniquely our own and resonates deeply with those it seeks to inspire. Our common mistake is that the vision is generic and indistinguishable from any other organisation and does not get stakeholder buy-in, as you would suspect from tonight. My question, why has the new draft vision statement been drafted like a mission statement, which typically discusses governance, functions and services, rather than as an aspirational vision statement for the future, which should guide our strategic and operational planning?
Through you, Mayor. Thanks for your question, Colin. Look, the nature of the question means I probably need to take it on notice because I don't know the minds of the authors and why they've written it in that way. So I'll take it up and I'll follow up with the councillors following consideration of the notice of motion this evening, and if they do decide to adopt it. As I've said in previous responses, we'll prepare a report which hopefully would provide some insight into the reasons.
Thank you.
Yeah, follow up?
No, I won't.
Thank you. Public question number 11 from Gail Wilmot. Is Gail here?
Okay. So as background, under Section 46 2B of the Local Government Act 2020, the CEO is responsible for ensuring that advice provided to the Council is consistent with the requirements of the Act and the principles of sound governance. It appears that no officer report has been provided to accompany the proposed adoption of the revised community vision, and no documented evidence of a deliberative engagement process as required by Section 88 of the Act is available in the public agenda. So my question is put forward quite respectfully, but being aware that failure to provide evidence of documented deliberative engagement may expose both yourself and councillors to serious governance risks and potential investigation by the local government inspectorate, as per CEO obligations under the Act, have you formally advised councillors that proceeding to adopt the updated
community vision in the absence of these documents may place council in breach of the Act? And if not, why not?
And thank you, Gail, for your question. If you don't mind, I'll read the entirety of section 46(2)(b). So it says, a CEO is responsible for ensuring that the council receives timely and reliable advice about its obligations under this Act or any Act. So I prepared a paper and briefed council about the process to review the community vision prescribed by the Local Government Act on the 4th of December 2024. The Local Government Act, as you quite rightly point out, says the council must include deliberative engagement practices in its community engagement policy. The community engagement policy includes those deliberative engagement practices. A community vision engagement plan was developed to align with the principles set out in the community engagement policy. Council was presented this community vision engagement plan in Assembly in January 2025. So I think, yeah, I'll probably leave it there, and I just hope that you yourself and a couple of others will visit me in jail in a little while.
Any
Can
follow-up?
I just ask, sorry, when you said that it was presented in January
2025. So
to...
the process and the process of developing and reviewing the community vision was presented in December 2024, and then we followed up with a proposed engagement plan in January 2025, and until this point we've followed that engagement plan.
And have these plans been released?
The engagement plan, no, it was just an internal document about the process of engagement.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So will you be releasing any reports anyway?
Well, the intent, I think, in my response to some of the earlier questions has been that I'll now work, well, depending on the outcome of tonight,
Yep.
I'll work with council to provide a report explaining how the, yep.
Thanks, Gail. That brings to an end the public questions. Item number 6, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. 6.1, ordinary council meeting on the 25th of June 2025. The recommendation is that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting on the 25th of June 2025 as distributed be confirmed as an accurate record. Do we have a mover? Councillor Tolhurst, do we have a seconder? Councillor Cameron, all those in favour? Carried unanimously. 6.2, ordinary council meeting on the 25th of June 2025, the confidential minutes. The recommendation is that the confidential minutes of the ordinary meeting of council on the 25th of June 2025 as distributed be confirmed as an accurate record. Do I have a mover? Thanks, Councillor Cameron. A seconder?
Yep.
Councillor Tolhurst. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. 6.3, Audit and Risk Committee meeting on the 10th of June 2025. The recommendation is that the agenda and unconfirmed minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee meeting on the 10th of June 2025 as distributed be noted. Do I have a mover? Councillor Tolhurst. Do I have a seconder?
Yep, thank you.
Councillor Gregor. All those in favour? Unanimous. Number 2, record of informal meetings of councillors. Recommendation that the record of informal meetings of councillors as presented in adjunct to item 7 be noted. Do we have a mover? Councillor Tolhurst. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Cameron. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Item number 8, notice of motion. Notice of motion status update. The recommendation is that the notice of motion status update be noted. Do we have a mover? Councillor Cameron. Do we have a seconder?
Yep.
Councillor Gregor. All those in favour?
Thank you.
Unanimous, thank you. 8.2, notice of motion 2025/600, update to the Community Vision 2025. Summary. In accordance with the Borough of Queenscliff's governance rules, notice was received by the Chief Executive Officer of the following motion from Councillor Gregao on the 15th of July 2025. Councillor Gregao, would you like to read the motion?
Yep, sure, no problems. To comply with Section 88 of the Local Government Act of 2020, this notice of motion proposes that the Borough of Queenscliff Council adopt the updated community vision. Under the Act, it is a legislative requirement that the Council reviews its community vision following each general election. In compliance with this obligation and following the Council election held in October 2024, councillors commenced a comprehensive review of the existing vision to ensure it remains relevant, community-focused and aligned with the borough's strategic objectives. Since October 2024, councillors have engaged in a structured and considered process to review the vision, incorporating community feedback and addressing key themes such as environmental stewardship, responsible development, heritage conservation, and the delivering of essential services. The updated community vision reflects the borough's unique coastal and historic character and reinforces the community's aspirations for accountable governance, sustainable planning and social inclusion. It provides a contemporary and strategic framework to guide long-term council decisions-making policy development. Accordingly, this notice of motion seeks Council's formal endorsement of the updated community vision in accordance with the legislative requirements and in the interest of transparent and community-led governance. A copy of this updated community vision is provided in the attachment, posted on the internet for the public, and given to the councillors on attachment 8.2.1. I, Councillor Gregao, intend to move the following motion: that Council adopts the updated community vision as presented.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Cameron. Councillor Gregao, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, sure. Sort of acting mayor and fellow councillors, I'm considering tonight to support the revised community vision for the Borough of Queenscliff. This vision reflects who we are and what matters most to the people who call our borough home. It recognises the value of our unique coastline, the charming and historic villages, and the character of our community, built in strong sense of place, responsibility and common sense. We're not a municipality that needs grand slogans or vague commitments. What we need and what this vision delivers is clarity, accountability and the focus to get the basics right. Pillars as set out in this document are grounded in practical outcomes, not ideology. Firstly, on health and well-being, our residents, particularly our older population, deserves access to reliable local services. The median age of the borough residents is the highest in Australia, so it's our responsibility to ensure that our aged care and health support remain priority, not an afterthought. Secondly, on the environment, we are caretakers of some of Victoria's most beautiful coastlines and green spaces. This vision commits us to maintaining these areas, not over-regulating them, but keeping them clean, safe and usable for locals and visitors alike. Thirdly, on business and tourism, local businesses not only provide employment and services, they're vital in creating a vibrant atmosphere in both towns. By streamlining council services and investing in necessary civic infrastructure, we're giving them practical support to help them succeed. Fourth, on safety and livability, whether it's families, seniors or young people, everyone has the right to feel safe and supported in their community. This vision makes our clear commitment to reliable services and well-maintained public spaces. And finally, on heritage, we must never lose sight of what makes Queenscliff unique. From our historic buildings to our military and maritime sites, We are not only preserving the past, we are protecting our future identity. This vision is not radical, it's respectful, it focuses on results, not politics. And most importantly, and what our residents have consistently told us they want is clean streets, fair rates, reliable services and pride in the borough. I commend this community vision to Council and ask for your support in adopting it as a guiding document that serves our community with clarity and purpose. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Gregor. Seconded to speak. Would you like to speak? No. Any other councillors wish to speak? Councillor Tollers?
Yes, I wish to speak against the motion and find it a shame that there was no reference to the community's input into that vision. So I wish to open by thanking the more than 400 people, thank you, that made a submission to the consultation process. This ran March to May. It did not start in October. That is incorrect. This is the community's vision, and you gave time and energy to guide and inform our decision making. It's your aspirations for the community, where we want to be together by 2031, and from which councillors work with the organisation to devise the council plan. This should be a unifying moment for council with its community, but it cannot be with a process like this. And I actually really feel the hurt in the room tonight at that reality. No officer report, no presentation of the consultation data, no evidence as to how deliberative engagement has been used to inform or guide council decision making. And this notice of motion as the only document presented back to the public before a decision is made on the vision, a document that's required by law to describe the municipal community's, not councillors' aspiration for the future of the municipality. Without data or any evidence as to how the community engagement was used in the rewriting of the vision, I personally believe, and I'm not satisfied this is compliant with the Local Government Act, Council's own community engagement policy and Council's public transparency policy. Now, that is not to say that Council couldn't change the vision. That was okay, and that is a part of a review process potentially, but the community cannot see how the deliberative engagement informed or guided our decision making. As a result, I think it makes a mockery of the community's good faith engagement and becomes hypocrisy when set against the rewritten vision to state that councillors' requirement to act transparently and that we are always placing the needs of the community first. I find that completely insincere. To the rewritten vision itself, it has removed elements the majority of survey respondents told us were important, taken a focus on the operational rather than the aspirational, become a statement of councillor legislative obligations, and moved the general tone from long-term vision to short-term outcomes. There are some small semantic changes I actually agree with in this rewrite, but as a totally rewritten vision, it has fundamentally failed to incorporate some of the engagement's key findings and those were that more than half of the respondents indicated they didn't want the vision changed. About a third said tackling climate change and its impact on health was a priority when stacked against the Victorian Population Health Strategy outcomes. Most of the suggestions for changes referred to minor tweaks, removal or inclusion of a few words or concepts, and I could not, in reviewing all 387 survey responses, find a single one that called for the removal of reference to climate change. Again, change is okay, but process and substantiation of change in line with our policies and the law matters. We are all beholden to that. If this community vision is adopted tonight through the process as presented and on the recommendation of the Municipal Association of Victoria, I will make a referral to the Local Government Inspectorate as a breach under the Act. I encourage community members, if they feel the same, to do the same. Thank you.
Happy to do so.
Councillor Gregor, would you like a right reply?
I'd like to say that it's very it's nice to have these passions and regarding the evocation of the calling for the enactment of the CP 003, the community engagement. It's nice to see over the last 4 years that how a lot of these people never came back and supported other petitions or things regarding issues that did not concern them. They were quite happy to keep quiet, and because it did not fit their agenda. And it comes
Councillor Gregoire, can you address the
Yeah, so
councillor, please?
it needs to be treated that must be very fair, that, this engagement, it always has to convey the whole community. And it's not just, we've got the responses that we all sat through and went through as a councillor group. We didn't not all agree on all that, but it comes down to we had to make a decision. And this is and the evidence will be given out after this, if we make this decision to give it out to the public and then justify the reasons for the changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gregoire. We've had a motion and a mover, a seconder. All those in favour, raise your hand.
No!
3-1.
I haven't voted. You haven't called for opposition.
Yep. Yeah. So,
Sorry, are you calling for
Yep.
for or against?
yep, against now, sorry. Yep.
I wish to call a division.
Councillor Tolhurst has called a division. All those in favour, raise your hand.
Yep.
You got that?
Yep.
Yep. 3-1.
I haven't put, sorry, just for process.
Sorry.
I'm putting my hand up again against the motion, just to be clear. I wasn't invited to vote again.
Sorry. Did you get all those, Jackie?
I did.
Yep, thank you. Notice 8.3, notice of motion 2025/601, G21 Regional Alliance status. I'll just hold for a minute. Summary. In accordance with the Borough of Queenscliff governance rules, notice was received by the Chief Executive Officer of the following motion from Councillor Tolhurst on the 15th of July 2025. Councillor Tolhurst, would you like to read the motion?
Yes, I'll go straight to the motion. So the recommendation here against G21 status update is that 1, Council notes that the Mayor gave notice of Council's intent to withdraw its membership in accordance with Section 142 of the Memorandum of Understanding in January 2025. Notes that in providing the notice above, the Mayor advised the G21 Regional Alliance that the Borough of Queenscliff representatives would resign from the Board of Directors effective immediately. 3, notes the G21 Memorandum of Understanding commits Council to membership until February 2026. 4, notes that the Borough of Queenscliff budget 25-26 includes an allocation of approximately $5,200 to fulfil our membership commitments to February 2026, consistent with the MOU. Notes that in June 2025, the G21 board resolved to change the structure of G21, including no longer offering membership to organisations and businesses in the region, removing the pillar structure and employing dedicated staff. Notes that in making this decision, the board also resolved to form a subcommittee of directors to determine its ongoing purpose and future, and that an invitation was extended to Borough of Queenscliff to join this subcommittee as a founding member. Notes that this subcommittee met for the first time on February 4 July 2025 with representation from the Borough of Queenscliff. Notes that the subcommittee is scheduled to meet regularly to continue working on a future model for the Alliance, and requests that future updates of the Borough of Queenscliff's membership status and the G21 Regional Alliance structure be presented to councillors and the public through reports at ordinary meetings of council.
Do we have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Cameron? All those in favour?
Oh, can I speak to the motion?
Sorry, Isabel.
Thank you, Mayor. This just, it's kind of as the motion is presented, it's about making a declaration to the public about where we're at with G21. Council has had a long relationship with the G21 and there's been significant change to the organisation and our relationship to it in past months. So this is about an accurate update and a timeline provided to the public and to make a commitment to continued updates on our involvement with G21 in the spirit of transparency and good governance.
Councillor Cameron, would you like to speak?
If I may please just ask the question, who is our current representative for G21 attending the meetings?
I am.
Thank you,
Yes.
Councillor Gregor.
Any other councillors wish to speak? Leave a right or reply? No? No, you're right. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Councillor Tollhurst. Councillor Cameron. All those against?
Can't. You just go casting vote.
Casting vote.
It's like,
That you.
So, I'm against.
You're entitled to change your vote.
No, I'll stick with my vote, thank you. So,
I didn't capture the vote.
So
two.
casting vote. What do you have to do?
Lost.
Hmm.
Can I still call division?
I don't have to leave.
Yes.
yes.
I'd still call division, thanks.
you know what they were?
Oh, you need
Yeah,
to
just to do again.
Councillor Tollhurst is called a division. All those in favour, raise your hand.
Division. No, or the division.
Yeah, the division.
Oh, yeah.
So, check yes, Councillor Cameron and Councillor Tollhurst. Yep.
Those against? Right, thank you.
Yeah, you have to do the casting vote. You just note, Brendan, have you noted the casting vote?
Yep,
Okay.
thank you. Number 9, functions attended. The summary. Council was represented at the following meetings and functions between the 17th of June and the 11th of July 2025. The recommendation is that the functions attended report be received. I ask that we got a mover.
Yep.
Councillor Gregor, a seconder.
Yep.
Councillor Cameron, all those in favour, please raise your hand.
Yeah, okay, can I just division type? I just question regarding one of the functions attended. Since we actually resigned from the G21 board and actually effectively not a member, what's the attendance of the G21 farewell party by the council? Because it comes down to I don't ever recall ever seeing an invitation. I never ever recall seeing a invitation for the councillors or regarding Queenscliff being invited to the farewell function for G21.
Through you, Mayor. So all former directors were invited to a function, and it was really to say goodbye to the staff who those directors had worked with. So at the moment, the current members, the most recent members were Councillor Tollhurst and myself were invited. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend.
So, all those in favour of the recommendation?
Yep.
Unanimous. Number 10, petitions and joint letters. In In accordance with the Borough of Queenscliff's governance rules, a petition or joint letter presented to the council must lay on the table until the next ordinary meeting of the council, and no motion other than to receive the petition or joint letter may be accepted by the chairperson, unless the council agrees to deal with it earlier. 10.1. Petition for Royal Park off-leash dog park trial. On the 16th of July 2025, Council received a petition addressed to the Mayor and Councillors from Jan Mackey and Liz Atkinson on behalf of the Ballerine Small Dogs Group. The petition requested that the Royal Park Oval, Point Lonsdale, when not in use for organised sporting activities, be available as an off-leash dog park. Would Jan or Liz like to speak in support of the motion? Please.
Firstly, I'd like to really thank the council for accepting the petition. This came about as a result of, I guess, last month's meeting when the Domestic Animal Management Plan was accepted. There's really an urgent need for an off-leash dog park. The dog, the off-leash dog part on the beach, the dog beach, it's just not suitable. It's not suitable for a whole host of people. We're an ageing population, and there really is an urgent need. Some people may not be here in 12 months. I believe there was some discussion about doing a survey, and like the time that it would take to do that, I think, to defer the actual decision would be harmful to some people. We've been doing this for 12 months already. Councillor Monaghan, Councillor Tolhurst, you both put forward a motion about, the off-leash dog park. And thank you for doing that. I'm sorry it wasn't sort of accepted, but what we're suggesting is a trial. We're doing it anyway. It's not very nice to have the local laws people stand there and look at us, when we're on the Oval. We want to do the right thing. We want to work with council. We're prepared to do whatever we can to assist you. We know that council's short of money. If we can do work with you to get a survey done, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to be able to do that. We've got people who are very unwell. We've got one person who has emphysema, one who has MS, another woman who has had 2 hip replacements, 2 knee replacements, almost like the bionic woman. But, really, we'd like to do a trial. Let us do that for 3 months. We'll gather any data that you want. If you want to do a survey in the meantime, we're willing to help you with that. But I can't sort of stress the need for inclusion. If you look to your own policies, particularly with the health and wellbeing plan, for example, has a priority 1, to get people active, moving, to engage socially. It's so important for mental and physical well-being. And we're encouraged as we sort of get older and might lose a partner or be single, to have a dog. So I really I'm pleading with you. Please let us make it formal, please, and let us just do the right thing. We all want to do the right thing. And some people don't have the choice to do that. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Liz. I'll just read in summary the petition. It was signed by 514 people, 187 borough residents ratepayers, 158 from Pont Lonsdale and City Grange alongside residents ratepayers, and 169 from outside the local area. The recommendation that Council receives the petition for the Royal Park off-leash dog park trial and lays it on the table until the next ordinary meeting of Council. Do we have a mover? Councillor Tolhurst. Do we have a seconder?
Yep.
Councillor Regau. Councillor Tolhurst, would you like to speak?
Yeah, just really briefly, thank you, Mayor. I just want to say thank you for bringing your concerns and this petition to Council. I can see it was a lot of work in just a small amount of time and look forward to working through your requests with my colleagues and the offices in a way that complements the adopted domestic animal management plan and our existing policies and strategic objectives. So thank you.
Any other councillors want to speak to the motion? No?
May I?
Yeah.
Are all dogs allowed down there? Big dogs too? Yes? Good. I have a dog. Thank you. Just checking I can take it. Oh.
I'd just like to speak to the motion too, and I just want to make note that when the domestic animal management plant went out to for consultation, we only had 5 primary requests for the dog park and 5 secondary requests for the dog park, and we had no submissions in the council budget for a dog park. And I'm just noting that because we have now got a borough newsletter. So I hear people whispering saying that we didn't know about it. But so what I just want you to do, as you're going out, if you can just QR code that QR code on the door there, and then that'll get you access to the council newsletter. So any other surveys or anything that come out, you'll be able to engage in it. So thank you. So, yep. Saying that. All those in favour?
Isabel.
Yep. Sorry. Unanimous. Number 11, the Chief Executive Officer report for July 2025. I'll just hold off for a minute. I'll just pause.
AWS. Pause. Oh, I like it.
The purpose of this report is to provide Council an update on current projects and operational activities not reported through the quarterly reporting processes. Any councillors got any questions for the CEO? Councillor Tolhurst?
Mayor, just to confirm the dog beach stairs, that's distinct from the ramp.
Yes, through you, Matt. Yes, so there's a separate project to deal with the ramp, and then these stairs are the stairs.
One's on as you're coming towards. Great. If I may, not a follow-up, a separate question, and that's about an attachment provided which gives councillors and the community updates on policy and strategy implementation, and I found it extremely helpful, so thank you for tabling all that information. And my question is, can these updates, tables and summaries be added to the website, either existing project pages or new ones where appropriate?
And through you, Mayor, yes, Councillor Tolhurst, we can certainly investigate that and happy to put them into the relevant landing pages for those projects. Yep.
Any other questions? The recommendation then is that the Council receives the Chief Executive Officer's report for July 2025. Do we have a mover? Councillor Cameron. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Tolhurst. Would you like to speak to the move? You were the mover.
I would just like to make comment that I'm very happy to see that the Rip View stair refurbishment is now happening, and hopefully we will see those stairs back in action. It's been a very long time that we've waited. As I walk along there at dawn 5 days a week, I've been watching those stairs. So with much pleasure, I'm glad that they're now coming to an end. Thank you. That's all.
Any other councillors want to speak? No. All right, so all those in favour of, please raise your hand.
Yep.
Yep. Unanimous, thank you. Number 12, heritage planning infrastructure. The following table provides a summary of the planning permit activity from the last report published at the close of business on Friday, the 11th of July 2025. The recommendation is that the planning permit activity report be received. Do I have a mover?
Yes.
Councillor Gregoire, do I have a seconder? Councillor Cameron. Would you like to speak, Councillor Gregoire?
Yes. Question for the Tim, please. Just regarding, it appears like there's quite a few, and it's good to see that quite a few applications for building sort of planning permits for the Cove and the new sort of housing development in Murray Road. I just asked, just regarding the tree plantings there, was the Swan Bay Environment Group was ever consulted on the types of trees planted in that new development? And if not, why?
I'm happy to take that, Tim. To the best of my knowledge, no, they weren't consulted. That's because we have an officer who worked with the developer and provided a species list, which is a normal practice for subdivisions. If we'd been aware that Swan Bay wanted some input, we probably could have accommodated that.
Is there a reason why any of those recommendations of the trees that were given to the developer were not sort of traditional vegetation within that area?
I'm not sure what exactly was recommended by the officer, but I can certainly follow that up for you.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak?
Yeah, actually, a question on small secondary dwellings. We know they don't need a planning permit, and you might have to take this on notice, Tim, my apologies, but any, like an estimate of how many we are processing or aware of happening like each quarter, say?
The number's very low. I'd have to get back to you on the precise number, but to my knowledge, it's probably less than 5 since the legislation changed December 23.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? No? So all those in favour, please? Unanimous. Thanks, Jackie. Number 13, governance and finance. 13.1, the fourth quarter implementation update for the annual plan 24-25. Summary, the purpose of this report is to provide Council with an update on the work undertaken to further strategic objectives and strategies outlined in the annual plan 2024-2025 for the period 1st of April to 30th of June 25. The recommendation is that Council notes the quarterly report update against the annual plan 24-25 for the period of 1st of April to 30th of June 2025. Do I have a mover? Councillor Cameron, do I have a seconder? Councillor Tolhurst, would you like to speak to? No? Anyone else would like to speak?
Yeah,
Councillor
thank you.
Hyles.
Just great to see so much work completed or close to completion. So well done to you and the Martin, you and the team on getting through some significant work for our community. I just want to confirm the Royal Park Oval fence replacement. I understand that's scheduled to commence on August 25 and be completed by September 30, which is the end of the quarter. Will this take the Oval out of use at all? And have we got any reason to think that timeline won't be deliverable?
It shouldn't take the oval out of use, or the entire oval, because we're doing it in sections. So there might be parts of the oval where we put some tape around to try and avoid sort of conflict. It's taken a long time to coordinate all the players involved, and we've got some really tight dates around having all the people on site that have to be on site to meet our regulatory obligations. So we've been told that it'll be done. The installer says it can be done in that time frame, and the people that need to be there are all booked in for those days. Yep.
Can we have a vote on this? All those in favour? Unanimous. Number 13, Governance and Finance. 13.2, Review of Council Policies. Summary, Policy CP 006, Customer Service Charter. This policy was first adopted in June 2010 and last reviewed and revised in February 2022. The main purpose of the Customer Service Charter is to set out in plain language the service provided by Council, the standard of those services, how service levels will be measured, and what customers can do if the stated service levels are not met. The recommendation is that Council adopts the revised policy CP 006 Customer Service Charter as presented. Do I have a mover?
Yeah, it's good.
Councillor.
Can I have an alternative motion for this policy, please? So I recommend that Council adopts the revised policy CP 006 Customer Service Charter as presented from the document delivered to councillors on the Council Assembly 9th of July. So,
Sorry, I'm just going to go back to that.
Oh, so without... Sorry, mate, can I just...
Yep.
So at that Assembly, councillors requested a few changes to the policy, which we incorporated. So so if I understand correctly, Councillor Grau, you want to revert to...
The one that was presented.
At the Assembly,
yes.
not the one in the agenda. Okay.
So no changes?
Oh, there were changes as per the changes that was presented at our Assembly on the 9th of July.
Sorry, I'm just going through the...
Might be a bit confused. So we presented an updated policy on...
But it's very different than the policy of CP 006 presented on the 9th of July is like significantly different from what we discussed and were given on the 9th. Today's paper was what is significantly different from what was presented from the 9th of July paper, and it should be we should be actually reverting that and be voting on that to pass, not the one presented.
And I can only apologise for that, Councillor Grigard, because I came out of the Assembly with a series of changes that I thought Council had requested, which was along the lines of that we remove the term formal complaint and just use the term complaint.
Done.
That we acknowledge that we'll do acknowledgement quicker in terms of the written and that we included the term municipal community.
No, that wasn't agreed to. That's not under my notes. We weren't going to add municipal community in.
And that we decided that the definition of customers should be all customers.
Yes.
Yep. And then we need to provide some clarity around writing to us and the distinction between an email and a snail mail.
Yep.
So they're the changes that we incorporated,
You've added.
acknowledging the municipal community.
Yes, we didn't agree to the municipal communities part added to the policy.
So you're comfortable with the other changes?
Yes.
So can I respectfully suggest that the
And you've added in one extra.
Mayor, may I
No,
suggest we defer the item until we can be presented with the document that we're being asked to vote on? And I'm happy to move that as a motion, so I move...
Okay. Vote this down then you can. It's the correct way to...
But I can't in good faith vote on anything that I can't see, so I can't, with respect, I can't vote on your proposed changes.
Just and then vote this down and then you can put that down and defer
So
it.
Councillor Grego's moved an alternate motion. Do we have a seconder for that motion?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at you, okay. Can we can get some advice from Jen?
No, I think if you want, don't vote it in and then put another alternative motion to put it on. You defer it. Then it's another way of doing it.
So do we have a seconder for Councillor Grego's motion?
No, don't.
It just lapses.
No seconder? So that motion lapses.
So I'll move that we defer consideration of this item, policy CP 006, until further councillor discussion.
Do we have a seconder for that motion?
Yes.
Councillor Grego, second the motion. All those in favour of deferring? Yep, hands. Yep, unanimous, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't vote for it. I'll vote against it.
Of deferring?
Yeah.
You're voting against deferring, right. So, 3-1. Right. Policy CP 010, information privacy. This policy was first adopted in October 2011 and last reviewed in August 2022. The purpose of this policy is to outline Council's approach to the management of its information collection, databases and the other records containing personal details so as to protect the privacy of individual details contained in such records. Council has developed this policy to comply with the Privacy and Data Protection Act 2014, the Health Records Act 2001 and the Freedom of Information Act 1982. Note this policy is in addition to other strategies and mitigation practices Council has in place to protect its data from cyber attack. The recommendation is that Council adopts the revised policy CP 010, information privacy as presented. Do we have a mover? Councillor Cameron. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Tolhurst. Would you like to speak to it? No. Would anyone else like to speak to it?
Just acknowledging the work that is the slow march towards policy update. There's lots of them, and information privacy and things relating to cyber security are notorious for being ever evolving and needing to be contemporary and up to date. So I guess grateful that this is part of that process of getting us up to date to make us an organisation that has strong policy. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else want to speak to it? No. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Number 4, questions without notice. 14.1, questions without notice status update. No questions without notice are outstanding. 14.2, questions without notice. Do councillors have any questions for the CEO?
Yes, thank you. So regarding the EV charging station policy and relocation costs, at the ordinary council meeting held on the 28th of February 2024, council resolved under the item 9.1 resolution 2 to request the CEO to prepare a report investigating the benefits of creating a new standalone policy dealing with the installation of EV charging stations or points and other climate-related infrastructure for review by Council. Could the Council please confirm that 1, whether this report has been completed, and if not, why has it not been finished? 2, when councillors can expect the report to be brought forward to the consideration, given the increased uptake in EVs and the community interest in the appropriate infrastructure planning. Further, I note the officer's report stated that the cost of relocating the existing EV chargers on Learmont Street would be approximately $220,000, including a suggested requirement to repay $70,000 to the state government. Given the community's ongoing concerns about the placement of the chargers within the sensitive heritage streetscape, and noting potential shifts in councillor and community priorities since the original resolution, will the CEO commit to writing to the relevant state government department to clarify whether relocation of the EV chargers would in fact trigger a requirement to repay the $70,000 grant, and provide councillors with an opportunity to review the correspondence prior to being sent? And 3, subject to confirmation of that the grant repayment is not required, will the CEO support initiating community consultation on alternative locations, such as the car park at 27 Learmont Street or the Queenscliff Harbour, following it by independent engineering advice to prepare a scope and costing for potential relocation, ensuring that any such scope excludes inflated or unnecessary works?
There's a lot in that question, and I think it drifts into the realm of a notice of motion. So what I suggest is that the councillor brings it to as a notice of motion or to the next assembly for discussion. In terms of the report, no, that report hasn't been completed, and in terms of why, at the time in discussions with the mayor and deputy mayor, I indicated to them that there is enough planning regulations in place, or planning controls in place, and that there was policies also related to. There was also urban design guidelines that could be referred to if we had concerns about those things. So, and in addition, the majority of those activities are exempt from planning anyway. So, but I can happy to follow that up.
So, it's an active motion that council has directed for an outcome or sort of instruction. So, I don't see why we have not been given an outcome, followed up. Even with the new council, how many outstanding motions are still sitting on the table for the current council group to deal with?
I think we sent you that information a couple of months ago. So there's not that many, and I do apologise for overlooking that particular item. As you can imagine, there's always a lot on our plates.
Any other questions for the CEO?
Yeah. A public question this evening mentioned the Three Headlands Marine and Defence National Heritage submission. Is there any involvement from council in this? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, no involvement with council. It was a community initiative, and it was part of work that the community did to first of all get some Victorian heritage recognition for Point Lonsdale and Shortlands Bluff, and then a broader project that involved some expertise from a gentleman, I've forgotten his name, David Connolly will know his name, but who has done a significant study on defence structures in maritime defence structures around Australia. So, yeah.
Any other questions? No? Thank you. 15. List of council meetings. The planning review meeting on Wednesday the 13th of August 2025 at 6:30 if required. The next ordinary meeting of council is Wednesday the 27th of August 2025, 6:30 here. This takes us into the closed session of the meeting. I'll close the meeting to consider some confidential items. So the meeting closed at...
Recommendation.
sorry. The recommendation, the time is 7:59.
Just get a vote on.
Just got to vote. I'm closing the meeting. Yeah. I've got to vote hands on closing the meeting. Yes. Yeah, thank you. Councillor Tolhurst moved. Councillor Cameron second. Unanimous. Thank you.